Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and in this episode, boss time. This is Craftwork. He is effectively a mimic made of stained glass.
Well, I was more like a. Yeah, I could even classify him at. Oh, actually, no, he is a mimic because he was just pretending to be a window.
There we go. Summon Gearman is a soul that I don't actually use all that often, but I do get some pretty good use out of it here. Let's see, he had the Summon Insect Soul, which is a problem for me because now we don't actually have the ability to progress at the moment. We got to go figure out where specifically either Craftwork or Double Jump are.
Double jump. Hell yeah, double jump.
Is that Double Jump?
Nope. That is another very sensual
That is
stab
Deep
in the
Sinker.
chest.
Okay. Deep Sinker allows us to go into the underwater parts of the castle. So I guess that's where we're going next.
Ninjutsu water breathing. Got it. No, the Mibu village water breathing technique. Now we are
If you're playing from
invincible.
Sekiro, at least.
Ah,
Arrow.
that is a good walkway into the foreground. If only we could actually go there, but I am glad it's there to establish that this is a really big room.
Yeah, the Dianchet Cathedral is honestly a really pretty environment. And then you get this, room with the bloody eye that actually follows you around.
I can see you.
He can see clearly now. Your hair is red.
Dun 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 dun.
We got the black belt accessory, which increases our attack speed, which is very nice.
We have a black belt in sword swinging.
Yes.
Sure.
Whoosh.
Let's crack the floor by attacking the pillar, of course. Sponge cake.
Now, that's another thing I should go over. Every time you consume a new food item, you get a first time consumption bonus. For sponge cake, I think it's +2 intel. And these are permanent bonuses.
Yay.
And you will need these permanent bonuses if you decide to play the game on higher difficulty modes, specifically Nightmare, which locks you to level 1. I'm not doing a Nightmare run. No, I just refuse. There's no way that I would actually find that fun. I had enough difficulties completing Zang 2 even on normal mode. So no, I'm not doing a Nightmare run.
Nightmare. It's your fucking nightmare.
So what we're doing now is we're exploring the rest of entrance as we attempt to go set up to get into the underwater parts of the castle.
More fried fish.
Now, fried fish is also I think fried fish is a +1 intel bonus.
I also enjoy fried fish, especially with a nice cabbage-based coleslaw.
I do not enjoy coleslaw at all.
Coleslaw contains some vegetables, like carrots, and even Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, and I've honestly never been a fan of carrot shreddings, because carrot shreddings are just weird to me.
Well, it makes them easier to chew, and they're raw.
But they're not actually more tasty. So what's the point?
Carrots are sweet. Well, I eat lots of carrots. On the other hand, I think carrots are sweet.
I've never actually, found carrot taste specifically to be sweet.
Well, baby carrots are oh so adorable, cut into little bite-sized pieces. Ow.
Damn it! He dropped his item down the floor transition, which means it has disappeared.
However, we have found that in the face of brutal point-by-point injury, exercise is key to good bodily constitution. What the?
Miriam has the ability to phase through that wall. That's nice. Alright, so we don't actually have the ability to solve this particular puzzle yet, so we have to go all the way outside of entrance in order to get into our water area access.
This is a very gamey kind of game, especially the very recognizable Castlevania mini-map on the top right corner that is very clearly indicating places that probably are there and that you should check, and if you don't, then you might miss something.
Yes and no. Honestly, a majority of the minimap does get filled in, but it actually still feels like it's a real blueprint of a castle.
Well, yeah, a castle for ninjas.
Nah, you say that jokingly, but there are ninjas in this game. 2 different types of ninjas, even. We won't be seeing. I don't think we'll be seeing either of them, though.
They will be hosting the 2029 U.S. gymnastic team.
Ninja better not be in 2029, I swear.
They are invited, but of course they may be disqualified for doping practices. Yes, blood doping is still a thing in modern sports.
When was the last major investigation that we had involving high-end drug use?
Well, well, first of all, it's not drug use. It's using extra. It's basically pumping up your athletes with extra blood so that they will have like better oxygen flow and respiration and overall bodily metabolism, etc. at the moment of truth. That's blood doping. The last major investigation with any malfeasance in sports, especially on the international scale, I think Russia and China get investigated. Well, mostly Russia. They get investigated like every single year.
All right. Here is the big problem with Deep Sinker. Unfortunately, whilst we are underwater, our walk speed is effectively cut in half.
God damn it.
Also, because we don't have double jump, it is very difficult for us to actually explore this area. Because, well, we have the ability to go underwater, but we can't reliably get out of going underwater.
I take it that this would be one of the moments where the randomizer could just outright fuck you.
Oh yes, definitely. The randomizer still actually has this particular problem where there isn't actually logic plotted into the randomizer, or at least not all that great of logic. We have discovered at least we've played through at least another seed where the Zangetsudo, which you are required to have in order to get to the true ending for a majority of the seeds, can just not show up. It's really, really concerning.
Okay, but endings aside, how about just finishing the game?
Well, that's the thing. There are 3 different possible ways to finish a seed. At least officially. There's defeat Jeeble, which is what this seed is on, where all you have to do is defeat Jeeble. It's actually the seeds that are almost guaranteed to be able to work. There's the defeat all evil seed, which requires you to go through and kill. And I believe you have to kill either all the bosses, or at the very least, Gremory and Bale at the end of the game. And then there's the defeat true evil seed, where all you have to do is defeat Bale.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the latter 2 require, because they require you to defeat Bale, you need to gain access to Den of Behemoths and, by extension, Glacial Tomb. But unfortunately, a good portion of the time, not a good portion of the time, but a small portion of the time, ooh, there's Reflector Ray, we'll need that later, there comes a problem with, you need the Zangetsudo in order to, one, move Gremory over to the Garden of Silence, so that she can be cut open in order to make way into the Den of Behemoths. And 2, you also need a dimension shift in order to make it through the hallway after Gremory in order to get to Bale. There are seeds that there are still seeds that show up that block out one, if not both of these. And the only way to actually finish those seeds is to do a major out of bounds glitch, which requires you having either Reflector Ray or Dimension Shift, and if you have Dimension Shift, you probably don't need to do this. Summon Chair, or the ability to sit in a particular chair, which can be blocked off if you don't have Silver Bromide, and you also need one of the weapons that doesn't actually have an attack animation, so either Flying Edge or this game's version of the Chrysogrim.
Well, it still stands to reason, though, that at least a pathway exists by which you could finish the game and then start a new one.
Yes and no, because again, certain these shards and equipment pieces can in fact not show up. I do believe that all the shards specifically are guaranteed to show up in a seed. But if silver bromide or Zangetsudo do not show up, then you get screwed. You get screwed out of finishing that seed if you're on defeat all evil or defeat true evil.
This is a really cool portal-esque warp technique.
Yes, but it's also much more difficult for me to actually use.
Oh, there you go. And whoosh. Got it.
But because we don't have double jump, we have to use Reflector Ray as our double jump.
Darn.
Hey, it takes up mana to use, okay?
Oh, okay. Wait, whereas double jump is free.
Yep. There we go. Alright, so what did we get? Is it Caraboose? Because it's usually Caraboose.
Jeez, Miriam gets stabbed a lot in this game.
Yes, by shards. We got Viewer. Viewer is an interesting familiar because if you actually have double jump, you effectively get infinite height with him if you understand how the hell to do it. I have never understood how the hell to do it, but you can get infinite height with Viewer once you figure out how to do it. But you need double jump for it to work. Whoosh. That's another shortcut. Yes. No, that's another deep sinker. Okay. Stacking passive shards is actually a very important thing because it usually increases their effectiveness all in all. However, Deep Sinker, given that Deep Sinker's passive ability is just the ability for us to go underwater, I don't think that actually we are definitely going to show off Bloodless, aren't we? Yeah, because that's why we warped down when we got Reflector Ray so that we could go and do a Bloodless. All right. Yeah. But because Deep Sinker's passive ability is just grants us the ability to go underwater, collecting additional copies of its shard doesn't actually do anything for us. Upgrading the shard, however, would actually give us a health regen underwater, which is really nice. Alright, Light Elemental, what shard do you have?
Is it more health?
Nope, it is Summon Bat. Ouch. The Occupite specifically is a very interesting enemy in the normal run because it has got the Optimizer Shard, which increases your overall attack speed, and then if you max it out, it becomes a passive shard that also does a raw increase to your physical attack strength.
Must get doofy-looking Wolfhead into range.
The Dullhammer enemies, they are effectively our replacement for the Medusa heads, especially since there are two different types of them, both the Dullhammer head enemy himself and the Malediction enemy that we will be seeing slightly later. At least I assume that we'll be seeing slightly later. I'm pretty sure we still end up doing Andrelphus at least. Damn it! I missed the timing on the fake jump. That is a small glitch that I am showing off through here. If you know how to time it just right, you can get a second jump off of Reflector Ray after you cast it.
Oh, it sounds like a good speedrunning glitch.
I don't know how good a speedrunning glitch it is because Reflector Ray takes a while to actually cast. You have to line it up, and then you have to wait for it to resolve, and then you have like about 10 frames once it's done once it's actually finished resolving to do the additional jump.
They don't immediately reach you. They just hover closer and closer and then they bite. Yeah. Little bastard child. Those flowing tails behind him, very telling of Medusa counterpart. And we have successfully ridden the horse.
Yes. Ouch.
And in the next part, we are going to take our good condition and come out even stronger.
Yes, as we will go in to fight one of the more requested boss characters in the game, Bloodless. Be safe, everybody. Also, Bloodless is an optional boss.